Welcome to High Five Fitness episode 12. Since our last episode, I became the proud owner of a trophy. If you remember, we practiced posing in our last episode. Well, part of being fit and being able to get up there and do a bodybuilding show is working on your diet. Part of the diet, or a large part of it, is really spending time in the kitchen and preparing food. The way you work out in the gym is just a small part of what it takes to really be fit. A large part of it is what you do in the kitchen. And when you're in the kitchen, it's fun to have some family around. So with us for this episode, we've got my mom, who's visiting from Hawaii. And just because my mom's visiting from Hawaii, we'll be cooking one of my favorite dishes, which are Hawaiian purple yams. And we also have with us tonight, or we're very fortunate to have my sister here.
Hello.
Well, thanks for coming and visiting. I'm glad to have both of you here. But another thing that makes a kitchen and healthy food a lot of fun is I always like to have music going when I cook. And part of having music, well, we're very fortunate to have our family friend here, Rob Thompson. So, thanks for joining us, Rob. Let's hear some tunes. Now part of, or let's get cooking now, so time to get the apron on. And,
Here, let me.
and let's get this meal coming up. So again, we're going to be cooking two things tonight. We're going to start with Hawaiian purple yams. Now Hawaiian purple yams are really healthy. Part of the reason I like them is they have more antioxidants than blueberries, right? Didn't you read that?
I read that 150 times more.
Which is really impressive, but they also taste great. They have a lot of flavor, and they are a common dish to have in Hawaii, aren't they?
Yes, they're very common because they're very good and they're very versatile. You could use them a lot of different ways. They're yummy.
And they're actually remarkably easy to cook. All you do is you take and buy these yams. You can get them at your local market or Asian markets, or of course in Hawaii. And then you take them. I like to wash them off. I forgot the brush, but if you don't have a brush, just rinse them. Let's get them nice and clean. Once you get them scrubbed up and clean, we're going to put them on a tray and we'll be baking them. I think for this size, it probably takes 45 minutes to an hour. I like to bake them about 380 degrees. Once they're in and they're baking for a while, then you'll put a fork in them and make sure the fork goes in them. When the fork goes all the way through them easily, that means they're done and they're ready to take out. They go great with fish, good source of complex carbohydrates, and a great bodybuilding food. It's also a really good food for if you want to get into a healthier lifestyle and you're not used to eating hardcore bodybuilding food. Well, yams are something that you can use when you're preparing for a contest or when you just want to have a healthy family meal. In fact, when we go to Hawaii, there's something you usually cook, aren't they, Mom?
Oh, I love when we make sweet purple potatoes casserole.
You get the Molokai
really
ones, which are really fabulous.
Molokai are really good.
So we put them in the oven. Again, I set it at about I like to put them at 380, so I'll set this at 380, bake them for 45 minutes, and then we'll check them, but I'm guessing these might be more of an hour. Great. All right, let's get a little more music going, and then we'll get started on some brownies.
Fix your tackle.
All right.
There.
So another dish that I like to play with are these coconut paleo brownies.
Very
Yummy.
cool.
Those are really good, don't you think?
Yeah,
Yeah, even my sister likes these, don't you?
totally delicious.
Warm out of the oven.
So I bought this coconut flour and I found a wheat-free brownie mix on the back, but I like to modify it. And the way I modify it, I call it my Denet's Paleo Coconut Brownies. And again, it's not something I'd eat right before a bodybuilding show, but it is something that it has a low glycemic index, it's high fiber, it's low in trans fats, or virtually free of trans fats, and it's really a nice staple food. If someone wants a dessert with a little more fiber, some more nutrients, coconut oil is full of medium chain triglycerides, which are fats that you can use it for energy. So it's an easy way to transition into a healthier food style. So let's go ahead and start cooking them.
It's great to take to potlucks and parties too. It's always a big hit.
Yeah, I think we brought a big batch to one of Yana's events. Was it, or what was the event?
And it went over. They disappeared really quick.
They're really good, especially right out of the oven.
We'll get to taste them in a little bit. So we're gonna take there's two parts to this. So I'm actually gonna have my mom go ahead and start preparing the one. She's gonna take 6 eggs. You'll beat them in here with, you'll whip them up with a cup of coconut sugar, and then we'll add in half a cup of coconut flour, which again is loaded with fiber. This stuff has insane amounts of fiber in it. And while you're doing that, we're gonna start preparing, or once you get this going, we'll prepare the other part, which is the chocolate, which is really the key.
Denet, why are we using the omega-3 eggs?
What a great question. That's something I like to use, omega-3 eggs. I buy more expensive eggs when I'm gonna eat the yolks, and sometimes I'll buy the cheaper eggs and just use egg whites. So if I'm doing an egg white omelet, I'll get the cheaper eggs and just use the egg whites. But again, for this, we're gonna use the whole egg, so I like to get omega-3s, which most people don't have enough omega-3s in our diet. We have too many omega-6. It's part of the fatty acid profiles. You really want to be increasing your fish oils and omega-3s. So I simply use omega-3 eggs when I cook and eat the whole eggs. And then if I'm just going to have egg whites, I'll go with some of the cheaper eggs and just use the egg whites for my omelets in the morning.
How many eggs are in this recipe?
We're using 6 eggs in this and that's for about an 8 by an 8 inch pan. And while she's doing that, why don't we go ahead and measure a cup of coconut sugar out, and we'll put a cup of coconut sugar in.
All right.
It's kind of funny. You can get coconut
Do you
sugar,
want me to grab
coconut
it?
flour. I mean, the amount of products we can get from coconuts is amazing. You were reading about where the coconut sap comes from, weren't you?
Well, just that the sugar comes from the flowers, from the blooms, the buds on the coconut tree. I was trying to figure out if that means that it happens before the coconuts form.
Do you remember when we were kids and we had the maple trees and we were
In Michigan?
Yeah, we were in Michigan and Dad would take us out. We'd actually tap into the maple tree and we'd let it drip in and then make our own maple syrup. That stuff was delicious.
That was really good. And then we'd make some maple candy. That was really yummy.
You'd bake it in the oven, didn't you? The maple syrup.
Right.
That we get from the trees.
From the candy.
So this is 1 cup?
This is 1 cup, but we need to add a little, top the cup off. What are some of the other dishes you remember as kids? I remember that maple syrup was good.
Yeah. I had a total sweet tooth, so I liked anything that was sweet, pretty much.
I guess, I don't remember if I like sweet things that much as a
You
kid.
did.
I did?
Yeah.
Really?
We both did.
I remember we'd sneak up to the neighbors to get candy because Mom and Dad didn't let us have much around.
But
You didn't know about that, did you?
No, I didn't know you guys snuck up to the neighbors to get candy.
Okay, want to keep whisking?
Scallywags. Yeah.
Mix that in.
So you don't have to get it all smooth before you put it in. You can just,
I lump it in and then mix it once it's in. I guess you could go slower, but
and you can hand whisk this or electric.
yes, hand whisk or electric. Now, of course, to make it taste a little better, we'll add in a little bit of vanilla.
Any kind of vanilla?
Vanilla extract. I honestly don't remember where Mom got this and sent it to me, and we can't remember where she found it, but it's fabulous vanilla. Take a smell.
Oh, it's really good.
It smells wonderful,
Oh,
doesn't
let me
it?
smell it. That is good. It doesn't
this
say on it
vanilla-
where it's from.
I don't remember. You got this somewhere, Mom. You don't remember where? So we're going to put in half a teaspoon. Go ahead and whip that in.
I sort of thought the Marianas, but I'm not sure.
I think it might have been. You were on one of your ventures.
With the Red
My
Cross.
mom gets a lot of trips in helping out with the Red Cross. Sometimes I'll actually slip and use twice as much vanilla just because I love the flavor and the scent.
It is a good flavor.
So you can
In the brownies,
personalize it.
you do
Yeah,
that?
I've done twice as much, and it seems to work and adds a little more vanilla flavor, obviously. Okay, well, now comes the fun part. We'll add in half a cup of of coconut flour. And this one you do want to stir in a little slower because, again, coconut flour is just loaded with fiber. So if you dump it in too quick, it does become a little hard to mix. So I like to slowly dump it in and really whisk it well to get it mixed in there. Try not to get too many lumps.
If you do get lumps, do you just keep whisking it till
I just keep whisking it.
you want it to be really smooth?
I like it to be smooth. You don't want too many clumps of coconut flour in there when you're eating your brownies.
Right.
So we could have let Mom off easy and use the electric whisk, but it's kind of fun to do it the
My hand's
old-fashioned
getting
way and to really
tired.
stir it up well.
Okay, put a little more in.
Let me know if you want me to take a turn.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Sure, you can come take a turn.
yeah, you can go ahead and stir it up for a while.
I want to put more in.
Yeah, let's go ahead and keep this going.
Oh, it smells good.
Well, that happens. Just keep playing as much as you can.
When
That'd be
If
nice.
you can do it quick, sure. We're going to miss the music meanwhile, though.
when you put
go
that
ahead.
in, it starts smelling really good.
It does smell really good. Okay, while you're getting that, I'm going to slowly start warming up a pan so that we can get the chocolate melted, which will really make the brownies just come to life. So I just turn this heat on low. Again, all we're trying to do here is melt a little bit of coconut oil. Make sure, yeah, we're starting to warm up. So I'll turn it on low for just a moment. Let that start to warm up. Meanwhile, I'll take some, I use organic coconut oil. I am a huge fan of coconut oil. It smells good, it tastes good, something your body can utilize the oils for energy in, and it really adds wonderful flavors to your meal as well. If I could get you to just hold this.
Sure.
So I'm going to fill that up. It's a 1/3 cup of coconut oil. So I'm going to put in here a 1/3. It is a little bit tricky to measure coconut oil. And I do have some friends that actually, they'll melt it with water. So you can use warm water so that you don't overheat it. But I like to just put it in the Teflon or the non-stick pan. Let's
Should I
finish
go
the,
ahead?
not
Okay,
yet.
a little bit more.
I like to put it in and melt it.
Does it ever get really solid?
Oh yeah.
If you're
In the winter, it will get solid. In fact, I know my
Not in
house is getting
Hawaii.
too warm. Right.
I think I need a spoon.
I know the house is getting too warm when my coconut oil liquefies. That's kind of a good internal, and you can use it to check your internal temperature of your kitchen. You know you're getting on the warm side when your coconut oil's liquid. Now, to really bring things to life, though, the secret is good chocolate powder. So I want you to compare the smell. This, I bought this at Whole Foods. This is a high-end chocolate powder, and this is a natural chocolate powder that I also bought. But you'll notice, take a smell. This is like a normal chocolate powder, which is, it should smell pretty good.
It does.
Take a smell.
Very good.
It smells good, but when you compare a normal chocolate to a really high-end, this is one of my favorite chocolates. I'll let you tell folks what it is.
I don't know how to say that.
Oh, sure you do. You're always better at pronouncing than me. How would you say that?
Really good chocolate.
Okay, we'll keep it a secret.
Oh, it's a
But you
darker
can see
color.
it's a considerably darker,
Yeah.
and compare the smell.
Oh, that is much richer.
The aroma is really fabulous on this darker chocolate.
Look how the coconut oil's melted already.
Oh, we better turn that down. Thanks for reminding me. So we're going to use half a cup of chocolate. We'll use my preferred
use
powder
this one?
here. We could. In fact, sometimes I mix them and make my own blend. So we'll just
Should I stir it?
scoop in. We need to get just a touch more Now you're going to stir that and melt that. But wait, let's use this plastic thing since we have a non-stick. We don't really want to scratch the non-stick.
Very good.
You can hear the coconut oil's nice and warm, so I'm going to move it off the heated side and then have you stir that up. So we get it all out.
Yana, how's that coming?
It's good. I think all the lumps are out.
Good.
Yeah, that's looking great.
It's good because I have to be ready for my
Meanwhile, we
official
still
job.
got the yams cooking, which we'll get to try some in a minute. I actually did cook some. I know they take a little longer than we have on this show, so I did prepare some beforehand, which we'll get to try in a few minutes just to check and see how those taste.
That sounds pretty
How's
good.
that melting there?
Really good.
Let's yeah, get it real nice and stirred up and make sure all the chocolate's melted. Then we're going to set it on the side to cool. The reason is we don't want to cook the eggs when we mix it in with the coconut flour and a little extra coconut oil. So that looks real good. Why don't you go ahead and set that on the side here, let it cool for a moment. While we're letting that cool, you've got this mix looking great. So why don't we go ahead and try the yams that
I don't
you've
get to grease
prepared. You can go ahead and oil the pan that we're going to use for baking.
This is my official job.
This is your official job, to put some coconut oil, get this nice.
I'll trade.
And all
Okay,
right,
we
we can
can
trade
Mom's
sides.
second with this.
Meanwhile, if we could get those yams ready, I'll take a look at these yams, and you could
Okay.
maybe bring the ones we've pre-cooked,
Okay.
since these are going to take a little longer. Don't want to get.
Oh, they smell really good.
Where's
Yeah, we
spoon?
unfortunately don't have enough time to fully cook these on the show, but
Oh, this one.
I'll leave them up here. And
Here we go.
let's take a taste.
Do we?
So you can see these are very purple compared to a normal potato or a normal yam. And a yam really has a lot more health benefits than a potato. The roots are deeper and it pulls up more minerals. And like my sister was saying, if you research it, you'll see the purple yams have antioxidants that are actually superior to blueberries. So if you'd like to
And the
try
color
these.
is related.
Look
The
at how
color
beautiful
is related.
it
In fact,
is.
the
Blueberries.
darker, I think the darker purple, I'm guessing the darker the purple, the healthier. You want to take a quick break and give these a try?
Do you usually eat it with the skin on?
I just eat the skin.
I think the
Great
skin is
question. A lot
really
of people will peel the skin off, but for myself, I will just eat them with the skin.
I like the
And
skin
then
too.
a lot of times I'll wrap them in tin foil when they're warm, and they'll stay warm for a long time after that. So you can wrap them, take them out of the oven, wrap them with tin
Really good.
foil, and then once you can just put them in your lunch bag and have them hours later, they'll still be warm. If you put a towel outside, it's even better.
This is just from cooking it in the oven.
It's just from cooking in the oven. Notice I didn't wrap it in tin foil until after it's cooked. And I didn't peel them. We just eat the skin. It looks like our
They're so
music.
creamy, we don't need butter or anything.
Yeah, I don't put butter on them. Sometimes for a special treat in the morning, if I'm going to have one, I'll sprinkle a little cinnamon on it. Cinnamon actually will complement it by either even furthering to lower the glycemic index of 'em.
And there's all kinds of things you can do, like we steam them and cook them with apple. Just
You
apple
can, but
and
I found that
potatoes.
baking tastes better than the steamed ones. It condenses the flavors. I've tried steaming them, I've tried boiling them, and I think the baked ones
You like
taste
that the
best.
best?
You might argue that the steamed ones are healthier through the steaming method because you can use a lower temperature, but I found that the baking ones just taste considerably better. Well, it looks like we've got some music back that we can
Oh, that's
listen
nice.
to. We were missing that, Rob. Glad you're back. Well, why don't we get a little music, and I'm going to enjoy this yam for a quick break. These actually really are good, aren't they?
Yeah.
These came out great.
Naturally sweet.
Here's your pan.
Look. The flavors of these yams are just delicious. I mean, would you imagine something is that simple that you just put it in the oven, bake it, and it comes out
That's why they're a
being
staple.
nutritious, better than blueberries, and tastes this good? And it's from Hawaii at
Right,
that.
a staple of Hawaii.
Well, that yam was absolutely delicious, but while you're finishing yours up, let's go ahead and I think our chocolate's cooled down here just enough, so I'm going to slowly pour it in and have my mom stir it into the rest of the mix.
I'm ready.
So I'll slowly pour it in and have you... oh, look at the color, the dark
really
chocolate,
pretty.
rich chocolate color that you get when we pour this in. Doesn't it smell good too?
It does.
That chocolate, yeah, the aroma is just fabulous.
Well, with
My
the
mouth
coconut.
is watering just as we're pouring it in. I can't wait to try these.
They're going to be so good warm.
So
right
again,
out of
this
the
is
oven.
chocolate powder with coconut oil. These are high-fat items, but your body can utilize the fats. They are healthy fats. And we put in the omega-3 eggs. So they're not low-calorie, they're not low-fat, but they are high-fiber and low glycemic index, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels
And they're
way up.
paleo.
They are paleo.
Paleo.
Except we are going to slip something in just a moment to make that is not 100% paleo, and that's chocolate chips, because it really brings the
Chocolate
flavor
chips?
out. So the chocolate chips are the one ingredient we'll slip in, which is not paleo, but I did...
And it's optional, right?
It is optional. I do use the lowest sugar chocolate chips that I could find. And to do it just right, I mixed... So today we'll use these 63% cacao extra dark chocolate chips. But even better, I have these dark chocolate chunks that are 70%. Another option, if you really want to get serious, you could take and you put in a chocolate 100% pure, or just put in cacao beans by themselves. So I think
Have you done that before?
I have. I've just tried some. It gives a little crunchy flavor, but that is 100% paleo and really good. So now if you'll help me, let's measure out, and I'll put in 1 cup. And again, I like to mix about half of each of these. I think it comes
You do
out.
1 cup total?
1 cup total, that's correct. So I'll put in half a cup. And you can put in half a cup there. Great, looks perfect.
Second.
That looks perfect. And now we'll get Mom to stir these in.
Okay.
Mom always loves chocolate,
I
so it
do.
doesn't take much work.
Nope.
When we were younger, my sister and I, we actually grew up on a coffee farm, so we like things that complement Kona coffee, and chocolate paleo brownies with a cup of Kona coffee sound pretty good, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I really like the coconut in the brownies too.
The coconut and chocolate mix that you get from the brownies is just fabulous. Yeah, if you could set those to the
Should
side.
I pour it in?
Let's go ahead and pour it in. So we'll pour just pour these into the pan. You want to help pour this in, Yana?
I'll
Or here,
hold
just
the bowl.
Okay. Here, you want to clean that off? And while you're doing that, I'm gonna clean up this with the extra chocolate on there. So again, I find these are not the food that you'd eat right before a bodybuilding show, but they're really a great way to transition from someone who likes a little after dinner sweets. Like, you remember Mom always likes a little after dinner
I
sweets,
still
don't
do.
you? And they're just so much healthier than buying off the shelf kind of sweets that you'd have. This is something your body can actually get some energy from, that's useful, and utilize it.
Good.
It's whole food ingredients. It's paleo except for the chocolate chips. It tastes fabulous, and I think it's a great way for someone to transition and start getting more interested in a way to...
Or just to enjoy really good brownies.
Yes, and you can also learn that healthy foods, healthier foods, don't have to taste terrible. You can get some wonderful flavors from really healthy foods. So let's go ahead and we'll set the oven. For this, we're going to bake them at 350. So we're going to switch to bake to 350, and we'll put them in for 30 minutes. So And of course, you want to have your oven preheated at 350 before you warm them up, but we're already warm there from baking the yams. So we'll let that go for 30 minutes, and in just a moment, we're actually going to be able to try some that we've already cooked before because we don't have 30 minutes left. So Mom, why don't I get you to take out the pre-cooked brownies that we prepared just before the show, and let's taste them while we're letting those ones cook since we don't have enough time.
Sounds really good.
Let's try them out. And I know we have a couple other people would like to join us up here, perhaps. Oh, look at those! My goodness, those look delicious. Have a smell.
They're
Come
really
on up.
good.
Come on. Why don't we bring Daniel on up to try some with us?
Let's let Daniel be the first.
You want to be the first test of one of these?
Yes.
I'm not giving you this one. Grab one of your own.
Dan.
This one's mine. Oh, does that smell delicious? Thank you to our wonderful crew that's helping out here. I want to invite our crew to come on up and help themselves to our paleo chocolate brownies, and let me know what you think.
Yes.
Yes. That is delicious. That came out just right. Yes. High five, Mom. Didn't those come out perfect?
Oh, great. We make a good team.
These are delicious. Tell me you've had a better brownie.
Only these same ones.
No,
like
seriously,
them a lot.
I mean, this is just some awesome food. And I mean, you could bring these to a potluck or in any event.
Right.
The fact that they're a lot healthier than a traditional brownie is just a real bonus.
You can taste the coconut.
From the
We should
coconut
make sure
flour,
Rob gets
the
some.
coconut oil.
We'll save some for Rob at the end.
I think we should.
But yeah, the chocolate flavor, using the higher quality chocolate really adds a lot to them. Having good coconut oil, the smell and the aroma, the mix of the chocolate and the coconut. And again, these are something that are easy to bake, but again, this is just a sample that you can make.